Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, teachers and or learners. Now, this is my return to teaching and learning. This is episode 2, targeted primarily towards teachers in a position where they're not going to have their own classroom next year, and how we can reframe reality to view next year as an opportunity to bond or forge better relations with our colleagues, with our students, in a time that may otherwise seem, well, unfortunate. So, aptly named Teaching or Thriving Without Walls. Now, it could feel like a loss, or it could be a huge opportunity, an opportunity to think about how well we work together, how we connect, and how we use our spaces, far more inclusive. Now, we're moving from my classroom to our school. And I want to share some simple ways that we can still be the best versions of ourselves without that permanent base, that enclosure that we may have enjoyed over the last few years. Maybe it's just a fear of change. So, the shared challenge. Now, here's the reality: we're not going to have that permanent base. We'll be moving from room to room, and we'll have less time to set up. The challenge isn't just losing our four walls, it's making sure that our identity, our quality, and camaraderie don't get lost in the shuffle. So, what this requires is a mindset shift. We've got to reframe this. Space does not define you. Your impact comes from relationships, not rooms. Consistency comes from routines, not furniture. And our culture is built on small daily actions that we take, not the displays that we leave behind. So if we lose sight of what actually matters, if we carry these truths forwards with us and discard of the fallacies, we can thrive anywhere. So, tip number one of the best gifts that we can give our students is consistency. No matter what room we're in, start every lesson the same way. Now, maybe it's a 1 minute warm up activity, a discussion question, or a quick problem to solve. Our young learners walk in and they know instantly that this is your class from the energy that you are displaying, not the posters on the wall necessarily. Now, we also need to ensure that we're ending classes the same way too. A short reflection, an exit ticket, or a recap to mark the end of your time in the classroom. You can even create a small portable visual cue, a foldable stand, a poster, or even a signature object, something that travels with you and says, this is our space now. Tip number 2, staying organized and productive. For me, this is my greatest, or was my greatest concern. So, what have I started doing? The same way I have a packing list when I go away on holiday, a teaching capsule kit. What do I need with me for each lesson? Now, when we are more mobile, because we are, efficiency is everything. And as I said, a teaching capsule or a kit, a slim kit that's always ready, could be laptop, markers, clicker, extension lead. A concern that teachers may have: what happens if I arrive at a classroom and there are no board markers, there's no eraser? Well, formulate your own kit. Don't put yourself in that position. We have the resources available, and likely every school on the planet will have enough resources to give you this ample opportunity. If this video has reached you, you're probably in that position. Now, we also need 2 minute setup routines. We'll have 5 minutes in between lessons, but 2 minutes. The faster you can get from walking into teaching, the more calm and control you'll project. How do we work under pressure with people waiting outside to return back into their classroom? You are not a guest in their room. You're essentially orchestrating a wonderful learning environment that may or may not have existed in the last period. You don't know. So you have to work with what you have, the reality of the situation. Keeping a digital hub. a shared online space for resources, announcements, homework. So students have that fixed point, even when physical location changes daily. Now, the closing challenge: no classroom, no ownership, or no problem. So when no individual takes ownership of a classroom, the problem we can face is that nobody takes responsibility for its upkeep. However, we all need to remember that we are a team. Every space is our space. Relationships travel with us. You leave your mark. Consistency builds that trust. Leaving the classroom on time for the next teacher builds relationships, forges alliances. Courtesy creates culture. Now, if we commit to these, we're not losing our classrooms. Instead, we're gaining the entire school. You're breaking free from one room, owning the entire building. Next year, let's make it so that every room we enter, where students feel they belong, is also a place colleagues know they're supported. Because in the end, walls don't teach, posters don't inspire. We do. Thank you very much for your time. Have a wonderful day.